It's time for the This Week is Dumb podcast, a chance for you to disconnect from reality for a bit and hear about some of the dumb things that we found this week. Now, here are your hosts, Garrett and Yury.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode number 7 of This Week is Dumb. This is episode number 7, isn't it, Yury? Did I get that wrong?
For some reason, I thought it was 6. Is it 7?
No, it is 7. It's definitely episode 7. We had Dave last week. Dave was episode 6. This is episode 7.
Is there an anniversary for that?
It's lucky number 7. You know what, dude? I missed it. Episode number 5 that we did.
Yeah.
That was our 5th week. That means we actually made it past a month. We're almost 2 months in on this podcast.
We're kind of a big deal now.
Yeah, that's right. It means we've made it longer than 90% of the podcasts that start out there.
I don't know what that says about us, but continue.
All right, so this week's guest is a host of her own podcast, and her podcast is called Does That Make Me a Dick? And if that...
She wins the award for best title of a podcast on the internet.
Totally agree. I actually thought ours was the best, and then I found her podcast, and I'm like, I got nothing. Hands down, she wins. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Jamie Pityinger. Did I say your name right, Jamie, or did I just butcher it?
You did a fantastic job, so thank you for that. And thanks for liking the title so much. Literally, I feel like it's a question that me and my friends are asking each other constantly, like, oh, does that make me a dick if I do that? You know? So I think we're all dicks. In our own way. Doesn't make you a bad person.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your podcast, Jamie, so that our listeners may want to come over and listen to your show too?
Yeah. So basically, I started this show not too long ago, a few months ago, just to, I was bored. I wanted to do something that was fun. I've done podcasting for a really long time professionally and was like, why don't I just go out on my own and see what I can kind of wrangle up here. And really, like, it started out, I was like, I'm just gonna put my friends on, random people that I find funny that will actually respond back to me in a DM, you know, crossing my fingers all the time. And I just think it's funny because people find it so hard to put themselves in other people's shoes and see things from a different lens. So I was like, I'm going to make this show, and while it's going to be funny and I'm just going to kind of pull out different things that I think make people dicks or things that I do that I think make me a dick, I'm going to say, hey, you know, maybe it can get some people to get a little bit of better understanding on the dickery that goes on in the world. We all got it.
It's an official
word.
It's funny
Dickery.
because I've
That's
had to,
awesome. In
my mind, because I love puns, I've had to come up with so many different dick words that I like to use. So dickery is one. You know, and then my other favorite one is I call it retalidicking.
Oh, that's a good one.
And that is when you are a dick in retaliation to someone being a dick to you.
Retalidicking.
All right, well, we should probably get into our stories here, and I'll get us started with the first one. I found this article this week, and this article is entitled, Drunk Driver Crashes into Car of Drunk Driving Friend That He Was Coming to Help. So the article's first line actually made me laugh. It says... Ready? This is high quality journalism here. Make it a double. See, it's a joke because it's a double D. Never mind. Anyway, a car belonging to a woman who drove into a ditch after leaving a bar was then hit by a truck driven by her friend who was coming to her aid. When police arrived on the scene, both drivers tested at double the legal amount for their blood alcohol content. So they both got arrested for DUI.
Isn't that amazing, though? That's just amazing karma.
I mean, you can tell why they're friends.
Right. That's the best drunk date is you get drunk and you play bumper cars with your friends, but in actual cars and get arrested.
I had a friend who actually accidentally backed up into a cop. So really, really bad person to play bumper cars with, for sure.
Bumper cars with the police, not something that you want to do.
She actually didn't get a ticket. I was very surprised.
Too bad you couldn't be in the car when because you know it's kind of startling when you hit something, like if you bump into something, then you look in the rear view and you see a cop and you're like, oh, fuck my life.
Oh, well, police say Natasha Nansel, 24 years old, admitted she'd had a glass of wine and an espresso martini at the Fox Bar before she drove her car into a trench after checking her cell phone. Okay, so she's drunk, driving, and checking her cell phone. It's a winning combination, folks.
Forget all that. What the hell's an espresso martini? Like,
It's,
what is that? And why are people ordering this?
Because some people like to drink a coffee-flavored drink with vodka or gin. Why they do this?
I think we're getting a little crazy with the alcoholic hybrids here.
It's a little beyond me. But the funny, yeah, every person that's gonna get pulled over, they're just like, okay, have you been drinking tonight? Yeah, I had about 6 shots of tequila. I didn't know you had so many partners. There's like 4 partners here. There's got, how do you fit? Is this like
I already
a cop clown
apologized for
car?
backing into you.
Yeah, I mean, you snuck up on me, so really, I feel like we should be exchanging information, right? I need to call my insurance about this.
I actually have another follow-on question, though. So Nancy, the one that was in the ditch, can she actually be charged with DUI for this situation? Because technically she wasn't driving when the cop showed up, right? She was just there. And the only way she probably got in trouble was if she said, oh, yeah, I was driving. Like, couldn't she have said, hey, I was in the car with my friend, she was driving, and then she took off after the accident. I don't know where she went.
I mean, she says she had a glass of wine and an espresso martini, and unless she was 10 pounds, we know she drank more than that. She's not thinking with her right brain. She doesn't know. Melvin just sounds like a stand-up guy name. So she probably thought she was making a smart decision when she called this friend. And she was severely mistaken. And then she was just flustered, I think. That's what
I think the cop was like, are you drunk? Yes. Were you driving? Yes. No. Wait, what's the right answer? What do you want to hear here? I don't know.
I can just imagine her being like, looking at the cop, like, were you driving? She's like, my car's in a fucking ditch. Like, yeah, I was fucking driving. How do you think that it got into the ditch?
Sorry, officer. I'm just really drunk right now. I'm freaking out.
Hey, Yury, can we play a game?
I'd love to play a game.
Fill in the dumb. Fill in the dumb. Fill in the dumb.
All right, Jamie, it's time for a game we play every week called Fill in the Dumb. This is where I take actual news headlines that have been recently put in the news. I'm going to read the headline. I'll leave one word blank. I'm going to give you 3 possible answers. Mm-hmm. It's going to be up to you and Garrett to try and figure out through process of elimination which is the correct answer. I assign points that mean nothing to a prize that is nothing at the end. Points mean nothing because I just picked the winner at the end. I made the game, so I make the rules up. All right, so for the first question, a blank solved a 9-year-old burglary cold case in Germany. A blank solved a 9-year-old burglary cold case in Germany. And your answers are a Pokemon card collection, a half-eaten sausage, or a strand of an eyelash hair. Jamie, you're our guest, so I'm going to go ahead and start with you.
Okay, so when you first read this, I thought the choices were going to be like a little girl or like a dog or something that's alive. So totally threw me off. But let's see. So we have a Pokemon card collection, an eyelash, and what was the other one?
A half-eaten sausage.
A half-eaten sausage. I'm gonna go with the Pokemon card collection just because, I don't know, something's striking to me about that. And I feel like an eyelash would be hard to find, and a half-eaten sausage, like...
I mean, I can see it, a Pokemon card collection on 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
Being shown to solve a cold case.
Well, Pokemon cards are really super popular right now.
Dude, we talked about this last week. Don't get me started.
All right, so Jamie says Pokemon card collection. This is a 9-year-old murder, you said?
It's a 9-year-old burglary cold case, and it was in Germany.
Okay, so 9-year-old burglary cold case. So not a 9-year-old that committed a burglary. It's 9 years old.
God, that would
right?
that would be a much more interesting story.
Well, that's why I'm clarifying.
It's a burglary cold case, which is 9 years old.
Got it. So Jamie says Pokemon card collection. My initial instinct was a half-eaten sausage, but then I thought, after 9 years, would a half-eaten sausage even really still exist? Then I heard you say something about a strand of eyelash hair. And eyelash hair, DNA, like it's all connected to the body. So I'm going to have to go with a strand of eyelash hair.
All right, locking in for a strand of eyelash hair. Well, you were close with the DNA. German police say they've solved a 9-year-old burglary after DNA found on a half-eaten piece of sausage.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Matched that of a man detained in France over an unrelated crime. So basically, at the time, 9 years ago, they had pulled DNA off this sausage, and it went into whatever the DNA archive is. I think
Big Brother database?
Yeah, I think it's just DNA.com.
Yeah.
And
Ancestry.com.
Ancestry.com.
Sponsor us.
Please. And then he got detained in France for an unrelated crime, and they pulled DNA, and it clicked in the system that he matched this burglary.
Excuse me, sir, did you register with Ancestry.com or 23andMe? Why, yes, I did. Great. Thanks for providing us your DNA. You've now been linked to this 9-year-old case, and you're screwed.
Well, they did say this, the statute of limitations on the burglary has expired, meaning he's not going to go to jail forever.
Okay, so this is why it threw us off, Garrett, is because I assumed that the half-eaten sausage was something from present time and not something that they tested 9 years ago. So now that makes more sense.
Jamie, I totally agree with you. And Yury does this shit to me every single week. Every week when he tells these stories and he brings the possible answers, he always phrases them in a way so that there's no way I can figure out what it actually is. So
okay,
thanks, Yury.
I'll add fine print. You are more than welcome to ask follow-up questions to these questions.
Wait, what? Okay, the game has just been changed, but this is good information if there's another question.
It's shifted. You can ask follow-up questions.
Remember, Yury makes up the rules for the game, which means he can change the rules at any point in time, and he 100%. Usually does.
100%.
I completely and 100% respect that.
You know what's great? The best part about this article is it said, it wasn't clear what type of sausage, known in Germany as Wurst, the burglar had nibbled, though police said it was of a hard variety, and he said the suspect remains free, and in the worst case scenario, he may escape punishment. But they spelled worst, W-U-R-S-T, in the worst
what
case
a dick.
scenario.
Yeah, that guy's a dick. I mean, so wait, just so I can understand this. So this guy went into to burgle someplace.
To burgle? He did?
Yeah. And he ate the sausage. He got like tired in the middle and he needed fuel. So he ate half a sausage.
Yeah.
But he was running out of time, so he couldn't finish the sausage.
Yeah, and the world's best German Sherlock Holmes was, scanning the house, found the sausage, said somebody get DNA off of that.
Fill in the dumb.
All right, moving on to Wisconsin. In Wisconsin.
Taking it over to Wisconsin.
A driver was pulled over in Wisconsin for blank. And your answers are replacing all the interior chairs with foldable camping chairs.
I hope that's the answer. Go ahead, keep going. Sorry.
Driving with a live deer attached to his hood, or driving without a steering wheel. And Garrett, we're going to start with you on this one. And honestly, in Wisconsin, any one of these is plausible.
So that was going to be my first statement, is that we're talking about Wisconsin here. So
right.
Are any of the three of these possible answers really ones that couldn't happen?
No, they're not plausible.
Interior chairs replaced with camping chairs. You know what? That's a great idea, and I think I want to do it because I think as long as you have a seatbelt, it's legal, right? Because that's really the only requirement is you got to have a seatbelt on. So maybe they kept the seatbelts in the car and had the camping chairs. I think that's a great idea. Live deer attached to the hood. How do you put a live deer and attach it to your hood? A dead deer, maybe I could see. Maybe he hit the deer or he was going deer hunting. Yeah, okay, I could see that one, but not a live deer.
What if you went hunting and you thought the deer was dead, so you attached it to the hood?
Have you heard the expression deer in the headlights? And the third one was no steering wheel. That one's a little bit too far-fetched even for you, Yury, because I don't know how you could drive a car without a steering wheel. But honestly, I don't think you're creative enough to come up with that as one of the possible answers. So I'm going to go with no steering wheel, and I'm going to lock that in.
Now, hold on, Garrett. Teslas are self-driving.
But they still have steering wheels.
Correct, but they don't need a steering wheel. Am I wrong?
No, they do. Yeah, they're not fully autonomous. Although, according to Uncle Elon, it's coming this year. We'll see. All right, so I'm locking in with no steering wheel because it's a Tesla in Wisconsin.
All right,
apparently.
Garrett locks in. A driver was pulled over in Wisconsin for driving without a steering wheel, and moving it over to you, Jamie.
Okay, so I mean, about not having a steering wheel, I can picture like if the wheel is off, there's still like going to be like a something.
A nub.
I don't know what it's called. There's going to be like a something. You can maybe grasp onto it and turn it. I mean, probably not, but
sure.
Who knows? He attached strings to it so he could pull it in the directions that he needs to go. But I want to say because the live deer, it just depends on what kind of deer. If it's a giant deer, like a male deer, if it was, oh wow, it's gonna get real dark. And I was gonna say it was like Bambi's mom.
I don't think we have many deers that listen to the show. You can say it. It's okay.
Okay, I apologize to all the deers out there. Sorry if that makes me a dick, but the guy killed Bambi's mom and then, or thought he did, tied him to the top of the car, and then the deer just starts moving around and freaking out. And that's what caught the cops' attention there. And then also, yeah, if you have beach chairs in your car instead of real seats, that's bold. And that just means you like to relax all the time. And that is a life that I really, I can get with and dig with. But I think I'm going to go with the deer on this one, just because I feel like the cops would be difficult for them to see the chairs being replaced, depending, and then also being able to see the steering wheel from driving. I don't know. I feel like it would not be able to tell. So I'm locking in with deer.
Her logic to get there was like right or wrong.
Solid,
I can't even argue with her logic to get there. Well,
way to bring it home.
The Wisconsin State Patrol shared a photo on their Twitter account from a traffic stop in which a trooper discovered the driver of the vehicle was sitting on a camping chair. Basically, the trooper noticed that the vehicle had no car seats inside the car.
I mean, how much? Okay, so this is my other thing with that. If you're doing that, like, how do you get the seats to then stay placed within the car? Like, wouldn't they be shifting around?
They would, and I would imagine that's why doing this would be illegal. The vehicle...
Just for that reason.
Yeah, it said the vehicle was pulled over for an equipment violation, and then on his approach, the trooper noticed that the vehicle had no car seats, and the driver was sitting on a camping chair. What an awkward 3 minutes before he probably noticed.
Excuse me, sir. License and registration, please. I'm sorry, is that a beach chair you're sitting on?
Also, did you know this deer strapped to your hood is actually live?
And where the fuck is your steering wheel?
Jamie's logical conclusion to that answer, that's going to be 2 points for Jamie, Garrett.
Yeah, again, I can't argue with you. I totally agree. She had me convinced that she was right anyway, so I agree. Give her the point. Hey guys, we are excited to tell you that we have got our very first sponsor on the podcast. It's Double Smoke Barbecue. Double Smoke Barbecue is a small business that's run out of Las Vegas, currently selling their dry rub and artisan barbecue sauces online. The founder of Double Smoke Barbecue is David. He's a U.S. veteran with over 16 years of experience in the food and beverage industry. If you want to go place an order with them, they are giving our listeners 10% off. Use the coupon code DUMB, that's D-U-M-B at checkout to get 10% off. And thanks Double Smoke Barbecue for being our very first sponsor. Find them online at doublesmokebarbecue.com. That's doublesmokebarbecue.com. And if you didn't hear me say it the first 2 times, doublesmokebbq.com.
All right, so for your third and final question, an online company is hiring for the position of blank with a starting salary of $70 an hour. Your possible answers are a font creator, a mousepad tester, or a Minecraft gardening consultant. Jamie, I'm going to start it with you.
Okay. Well, one, is it the job still available? Because I would love to make $70 an hour.
Sign me up.
It is still available. They are taking applications on their website.
Oh man, I really hope it's. I'm
I
not
would do any
qualified
of
for
those.
any of those, but you know. Okay, so making fonts, I feel like creating a font is actually really hard to do, especially.
I would agree.
I think so.
And they're expensive. I don't know if you guys ever tried to buy a font, like a really good looking font, hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. So that's a really big, that's where I'm leaning. But okay, but then I feel like people get crazy with Minecraft. I personally have never played it, but I heard it's really cool. So I could see someone needing a consultant for that. Just really wanting to make their Minecraft, what is it, like a world, a place?
I don't play Minecraft, but again, just like you said, I know a lot of people that go nuts over it and play it for hours and hours and hours, and there's a whole formula to it. Like there's statistics and how many blocks you mined and crafted.
Yeah, and the person that they're hiring to consult for their garden is probably like 10.
So it's $70 an hour to a 10-year-old.
10-year-old making $70 an hour.
Yeah, exactly. And then what was the third choice? So there's font and then...
Font creator, mousepad tester, or Minecraft gardening consultant.
See, I feel like mouse pads aren't as much of a thing. Like, obviously they kind of are, but they're kind of not. I haven't used a mouse pad in a really long time. I'm gonna go for the Minecraft creator thing, because that just sounds... I could just see some person, and if you are paying someone $70 an hour to Minecraft your garden thing, you're a dick. Like, you're just a dick. I don't know
if you're a dick for paying someone. I think you're a dick for charging someone $70 an hour to do that.
Oh no, you're smart.
Jamie locks in with Minecraft game gardening consultant. On to you, Garrett.
All right. So
Hold on. I'm gonna preface this. Do you have any follow-up questions? Was there anything about the question you didn't understand?
yeah, I'd like to know what the font that they're trying to create is. Do you have an answer to that?
Something with a sans script, italicized, maybe a high resolution,
you just pull up, like-
lower subscript font.
Did you just pull like every 80s possible computer font word you could think of
Just
at that
making up
exact
words
moment?
at this point, yeah.
I actually think this one, I don't think it's a font creator. And while Minecraft game gardening consultant really does sound like something that it could be, I think this one's going to be a mouse pad tester. Because as you mentioned, mouse pads are not as big of a thing anymore. So if somebody's building a brand new version of a mouse pad, they probably want to have it tested by enough people. And by enough people, I mean one person, so it only costs them $70 to test out their mouse pad. So I'm going to lock in with mouse pad tester.
Garrett locking in with mouse pad tester. But you know, the one thing I pulled out of that is you said mouse pads aren't really a thing anymore. Were mouse pads ever really a thing?
Oh, totally.
Were they?
Oh,
Totally.
you weren't
Remember
into
when
mouse pads?
Hold on. You, sir, sent me a text message the other day with a picture of a mouse that had the ball in it still. That's when you used a mouse pad. Thank you very much.
A British website that reviews garden sheds posted a job listing.
Yes.
A British website that reviews garden sheds posted a job listing for Minecraft gardening consultant.
Listeners, you
This
can't
is it,
see
man.
this.
This is like the peak. Well, the website said it's seeking candidates with a working knowledge of Minecraft and have a creative flair. While not essential, previous experience in landscape gardening is beneficial. Well, hold on. It says a passion for gardening and the outdoors must also be demonstrated. Well, let me tell you, people who have a passion for gardening and the outdoors are not playing Minecraft.
They are not playing Minecraft. That is a correct statement.
They are not approaching their correct target audience for the
Know your
advertising.
target demographic, please.
Literally.
Wow. Well, I think Jamie's going to go ahead and win that one on all three fronts. As usual, Garrett loses. We'll send Jamie the trophy GIF that she can proudly display on her phone, desktop background. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm putting it up on my desktop. I'll take a little screenshot of that.
Fill in the dumb.
The best part of this game, when I'm coming up with these questions, is not coming up with the questions. It's coming up with the two possible wrong answers because
Oh,
you have to make
course.
them plausible in relation to how weird the actual answer is. You know what I mean?
So, what's your process like for that?
I have to figure out how weird the actual answer is. So, like, a blank solved a 9-year-old burglary cold case in Germany, and the answer was a half-eaten sausage. Well, if I would have just put half-eaten sausage, and then I made the other two answers like, you know, a drop of blood and a fingerprint, then, you know, the weird one's going to be the one that sticks out. So I have to kind of camouflage the real answer with two other weird fucking answers.
That one threw me off the most, though. I literally thought, like, it was going to be like someone solved this case.
A 9-year-old solved the cold case in Germany, which was odd because she was French.
What?
Because it was in France that
It was
the
in
guy
France.
got arrested.
Oh, I got it. That took me a minute. Sorry. So we have one more story that we get to tell. I actually found two stories that I found really interesting. And so I'm going to read you the title, and you're going to tell me which story we should talk about, okay? So the title of the first one is Another Shrimp Theft. And the title of the second one is Texas Man Drove Dealership Loaner Car to Rob a Bank, Tried to Use His Loot to Then Buy a BMW. What do you think, Jamie?
Another shrimp theft, obviously.
Yuri?
Yeah, I'm 100% another shrimp theft because that indicates that there's been previous shrimp thefts. So this is becoming an epidemic of shrimps that are getting stolen.
So my notes to myself in this was, first of all, can we just talk about the fact that the title of this article actually is Another Shrimp Theft?
Why are people stealing shrimp?
The article says police are investigating the theft of shrimp from a grocery store on Sunday. Last month, a thief stole over $1,000 worth of shrimp from a different store in another town in the same state.
Is there a black market for shrimp? Like, is there a resale market for that? Because I've never seen it on eBay.
Someone messed up somewhere. I needed to cater something.
Frank, I
know.
got 400 people coming over in 20 minutes, and I promised them all 40 pounds of shrimp. Can you hook it up? I'll be right back.
Well, police said 2 suspects entered the Stop and Shop, and there was video footage showing the suspects arriving in a newer model white Nissan Pathfinder. Why the article had to say that, I don't know. So I took a look at these photos. I can barely make out anything in the photos. And how the hell can we beam images from spacecraft to Earth in breathtaking high definition, but every single security photo, whether it's a bank robber, whether it's a robbery at a grocery store or a convenience store, with a hardwired camera, this camera is plugged into a recorder somewhere.
Looks like a flip phone camera from 1999.
I actually felt like it looked like a 1950s television show or even worse. I mean, it's absolutely insane that we cannot get a good photo of these types of things.
I'm still hung up on why people are stealing shrimp.
Police said when the two went into the store, they filled up multiple reusable shopping bags with shrimp, bacon. Okay, cool. Bacon wrapped shrimp, right? That makes sense. And Kool-Aid.
I'm going where they're going. That sounds delicious.
What's odd to me is I've never seen a grocery store that had like a serve yourself shrimp. It's always like behind the butcher counter or something. So the fact that they were able to like help themselves to the shrimp.
I'm imagining frozen shrimp.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
And also, it's not a grocery store. It's a Stop and Shop, which I'm not from the East Coast or Connecticut, but I believe Stop and Shop is like, like a 7-Eleven or one of those other convenience stores here that we have on the West Coast.
How do they have that much quantity of shrimp at a place like that? I can't imagine. Like, is that all they sell at the Stop and Shop is shrimp?
They always say don't buy gas station sushi, right? Because that's just a recipe for disaster. I wonder if the same goes true for gas station shrimp.
We've scoured the internet for recent headlines, and we came across a woman who we have nominated the Dummy of the Week Award, the inaugural Dummy of the Week Award.
It's time for the Dummy of the Week. Oh, who will it be? Let's find out.
Instead of just reading you the headline, I'm going to walk you through sort of a timeline as if we were doing a deposition. So this woman goes to the store and basically purchases a bath bomb. She's had a long day. She's been working.
Sounds normal. I mean, that doesn't sound dumb.
Sounds great. She goes home, muscles achy, sets up her bath. She throws her bath bomb in. She gets in the bath and she starts relaxing until she notices little white puffy things basically floating up to the surface of the bath while she's in it. So she's in the bath and little white puffy things turns out to be marshmallows. A little odd. And she's starting to notice that the bath scent smells a lot like cocoa. Not realizing that she didn't actually buy a bath bomb. What she bought was a hot chocolate bomb, which is a little ball that you place into a cup of hot water that instantaneously turns the water into a cup of hot chocolate with marshmallows.
I mean, I've seen hot chocolate spoons. Like my kids love these things. They got them for like Christmas and they would drop them into the mugs and they put water in it.
It says the unnamed woman's pal explained that she'd bought what she thought was a luxurious bath bomb for a nice relaxing night in, only for her to realize her mistake when dozens of mini marshmallows started floating around in the tub.
All she needed to remedy that situation was a straw.
The few minutes of confusion in her eyes.
Hot chocolate bomb, and water are two of the three ingredients in an espresso martini. There you go.
That's true.
Oh wow, we're really coming full circle today. I'm really digging it, guys.
What is the third ingredient in an espresso martini?
Despair.
Ugh.
Despair.
Depression, self-loathing.
My thing is what section of the store would a hot chocolate bath bomb be in? Because I feel like it's not like they just have the bath bomb in the food section. And why would they have the hot chocolate one in that section unless the store people, the employees, got confused and put the bath bomb or the hot chocolate bomb in with the
I don't know.
stuff.
Have you gone to these stores that have like the impulse items in the front? I know places like Michael's or
The art store?
the art store. Yeah, Michael's the art store. And there's like this long queue. And before you get to the register, it's just an aisle of like impulse items, like stuff. And it's the weirdest concoction of things put together. It's like headphones, candy bars, popcorn, and scented candles.
Best Buy does that too.
Yeah, Best Buy does that too. And right next to the DVDs and 4K Blu-ray stuff, you'll have the bath bomb scented hot chocolate bomb.
I wonder what color the bath, if it was brown. Because, I've only used bath bombs a couple times, but I don't think I've ever bought a brown one.
I was going to say, would you put a brown bath bomb in? I mean, because that just seems so like relaxing and makes you just want to get in the bath, right? When your water is just brown.
They have these little dye tabs for baths, and I've bought them for my kids where you can...
For his kids.
For me, I like colored baths. Yeah, and they have one that's just yellow. And every time I throw it in there, I'm like, it just looks like this looks like a public toilet that I filled with water.
Thanks for bringing us our very first dummy of the week. And let me just say, that was pretty dumb.
That was the dummy of the week.
There's nothing you can't buy on Fiverr.
Fiverr is the best place ever.
We should do a whole podcast where we send out just the stupidest fucking requests to Fiverr and just see what comes back. In fact, anyone listening, any fans, if you call our Fandom line at 1-888-FANDUMB, that's FANDUMB, call us and give us some kind of requests that you would like to see us send out to the Fiverr world and have them bring it back to us and see what they come up with. Again, if you have a funny idea of a request that we can actually send out and pay people on Fiverr to come up with, call us on the Fandom line and let us know what that should be.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us this week. This has been episode number 7 of This Week is Dumb. If you go to any of your favorite search engines and type in This Week is Dumb, ladies and gentlemen, we now have our own website. It is dumbweek.com, dumbweek.com. You can reach out to us at Garrett@dumbweek.com or Yury@dumbweek.com. Come check out our website. All of our episodes are there. You can stream it live from Spotify there. So if you happen to be sitting in front of your computer and you just want to listen, you don't want to download it, hit the stream button there. You can listen to all of our episodes. Send us feedback. Let us know any thoughts you have about the show. As Yury said, if you have some ideas on what we can send off to Fiverr to have done. And please, 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 listeners, go check out Jamie's podcast. Does That Make Me a Dick? It's a lot of fun. Great time. Jamie, thank you so much for being here and joining us today.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming. Really funny podcast you got there. Does That Make Me a Dick?
Thank you. And I hope all your listeners are asking that to themselves constantly.
All right. Thanks again for joining us. And hey, we'll see you next week.